The next feature, sinkholes and the associated forms. Sinkholes are the most widespread topographic form. There are hundreds of thousands of sinkholes found in karst terrain. They may not be present in many karst terrains. For example, in Fitzroy Ranges of Northwest Australia and Guadalupe Mountains of southern New Mexico. They are not found there, as are the semi-regions. The important point to note down is that karst terrain is absent or rarely found in the arid regions. Sinkholes. Sinkholes can vary from a few feet to 100 feet or more. The depth can be from 10 to 30 feet in few areas. They can range from few acres to several square meters. It can take many forms, for example, funnel shaped, open, upward, etc. It is difficult to classify them in terms of shapes. They are classified on the basis of structures developed downward by solution beneath the soil mantle without physical disturbance of the rock. This is a solution sink. Secondly, those which are produced by collapse of a rock above are called collapse sinks. The next feature is dolines. They are defined or named due to the karst region of Yugoslavia. It is defined as a sinkhole which is larger by indentation. They are the extended versions of the solution sinks. They are the most common karst feature. They are found in all stages. The next one are the swallow holes. They can be defined as a surface opening which is result of runoff percolating into the soil or surface water entering the soil. Now next feature is a solution pan. It is a type of a doline. It is much shallow and larger in extent. They are also called sinkhole ponds and lakes. They coincide with the top of the water table. The next feature is the karst window. When in an area, there are number of hundreds of sinkholes which increase in diameter and coalesce with other sinkholes, dolines. They form the karst window. Uwala. This term has been applied to an unroofed portion of an underground stream course through which may be seen a stream which flows out of a cavern at one side across an open space and into the cavern at the opposite side. The opening may vary from a mere peephole to one of the considerable size. Some karst windows have become greatly enlarged and possess elevated floors across which cavern streams briefly flow as surface streams. The Bosnian term unle has been applied to large depressions resulting from collapse of extensive roof sections over underground water courses. But there has been some confusion in its usage, and what were designated above as compound sinkholes are sometimes called uwalas. The development of karst windows and uwalas represents a significant stage in the evolution of karst topography, as will be pointed out in the discussion of the karst geomorphic cycle. Polje, the next feature. It is defined as an elongated basin with flat floor and steep and closing walls. It is formed due to solution activity of downfaulted or downfolded limestone blocks. It can resemble an uwala but differs from it as polje is having a horizontal extent of hundreds of square kilometers, whereas uwala has several acres. The next feature, sinking creeks. They are defined as streams which lose their waters to the underground roots. They are formed in the regions of limestone. When limestone strata are predominant, sinkhole forms over a large area. They can sink waters to underground roots. They are very effective and can collect surface runoff and can cut off a few streams. Usually a surface stream gets absorbed into a swallow hole In areas where there is alluvium deposit, the water can disappear to the stream bed. Sinking creeks can disappear in a single swallow hole or many several swallow holes. This depends on the volume of water in the stream. They are an important aspect of the karst terrain. They form a fundamental factor behind the development of caves and cave-ons. The next feature, blind valley. The sinking creeks go underground and start the underground denudation of the rocks. They can be 200 to thousands of kilometers long. They can cut the swallow holes, sinkholes, ualas or polges. When the denudation is prominent in a vertical direction, it can take the shape of a valley. Such a valley is called as a blind valley. This usually happens in dry regions. They are formed in areas which have intermediary, sedimentary and igneous rocks placed nearby, and it is a particularly significant karst feature because its development throws light upon the process by which a limestone terrain makes the expanse of a region that originally was drained entirely by surface drainage and had the topographic characteristics produced by the surface streams. The next feature is the solution or the karst valley. They are defined as valleys which are formed when the surface drainage becomes disintegrated due to the abandonment of the surface roots. They preferring the underground ones. They are a representation of the transitional stage between surface drainage and underground drainage. They are formed in areas which have intermediary, sedimentary and metamorphic rocks. Tributary valleys from the sandstone and shale hills descend into the limestone valleys and disappear in the swallow holes, and this is one of the example of the formation of solution valley. It is impossible to trace down the surface stream once karst region forms, as this topography becomes prominent in the area.